On this week's Dead Center, I want to coach you a little bit about the importance of being both physically and mentally prepared, because what made this big muley hunt so bittersweet for me was that this was 3 years in coming, because the 2 years prior to this hunt, I had really struggled. 1 year on the mental side and the other year on the physical side. The first year, mentally, I just was not ready for this hunt because we had just moved to Iowa. Little Dud was starting school. We packed last minute. We bought a house last minute. Everything was last minute. And within a week of me having to go on that trip, I still had not even unpacked any of my archery equipment. And I had actually called Todd and just told him, man, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. And he was telling me he had some awesome muleys and that I really needed to get up there. So I literally threw my stuff together and got on that plane really last minute. And when I got up there, you know, I made 1 or 2 shots and just thought, well, I'm just going to go do this. We ended up getting out on a really nice muley. I made a shot and it wasn't even close. And to be honest with you, I think just because of my mental strength, I figured there was no way that that was me. I just figured it must have just been some kind of fluke miss. So we ended up a couple days later getting out on another tremendous muley buck, and once again got right in within easy range, chip shot, and once again totally missed. And Todd just looked at me like, man, what is wrong? And to be honest, that's when it sunk in with me that mentally I was just not with it. I didn't have the confidence in my equipment. I didn't have really confidence in anything at that point. So we decided to take a full day off so that I could just go out and work on shooting my bow, understanding where my bow's hitting, and make sure that I really believed that I was shooting as good as that I thought I was prior. And once I built that confidence up, it made all the difference in the world, because I felt so much more sure about my equipment. I was able to get those other 2 misses behind me, and we were able to go out that last day and actually get a shot at that bull, which we saw last season that I shot with Todd, that nice 5x5. So mentally, I was prepared by that last day, and that's when I had my success. But I blew 2 great opportunities prior to that on muleys. Then the next year was the physical side. You see, 9 months prior to that trip, I had actually fallen in my tree stand, and that's why I talked to you about safety last year, because it's life-changing if you fall. And what happened was I had a slow bleed in my kidney, and it ended up not becoming a problem until August, when all of a sudden I had one of my kidneys fail, and a portion of it is actually still dead today. But I wasn't able to pull my bow for nearly a month, and I barely got cleared to get on that plane to fly up to Todd's. And once I was there, physically, I was really having to watch myself. I couldn't spike my heart rate. I really had to just watch, you know, I had to move slow, I had to be methodical, and I was always 20 yards behind Todd, which is a big mistake. As a bow hunter, you gotta keep up with your guide. You have to be in good enough shape to be able to keep up with your guide. And finally, Todd put me right in front of a giant muley, and we had to run for about a quarter mile down a hill and then up a big hill. And by the time we got there, my heart rate was through the roof. I could barely get my bow back. I could barely hold it steady. And the result was me missing another world-class mule deer at point-blank range. So I'm just going to sit here and stress, and believe me, even as a competitive archer, I've been in so many situations where that last shot boils down to, 1, how mentally prepared I am and having absolute confidence in 100% of what I'm doing, but also being physically prepared, because if I got to a target and the guy that I was competing against and maybe tied with in score was there, but my heart rate was lower than his, I can guarantee you that I was able to make a much more relaxed shot. And on many cases, me winning a tournament all really boiled down to me being in better physical shape than the guy, even though mentally we were both on even ball fields. So take serious care this next year on any big hunt that you have take 30 days at least to get physically and mentally prepared, and I promise you, you're going to be a lot more successful.